and welcome to this video. Today I'm just going to walk through some pairs on TradingView, just so people get a chance to take a look at that version of the software. It's super simple. There are some things that I have not added in TradingView, in the TradingView version, because it's already done by TradingView, like the rectangle box. So if I want to buy here, I don't have to put a box. I already know that, you know, we've got everything here we need, so I don't have to do that. I put in my risk, $30, stop loss, profit. So I don't need the rectangles. There are some things that have been left out purposely. We have a small group, a control group, who are using the software and giving me feedback. And if any of the people who are using it have feedback, please do let me know. You know, things that they're not working properly or are strange, or things you'd like to see in it. And if it's something I think would benefit everyone, then I'll of course add it to the software. But it's pretty simple, and it works really, really well, as you can see. So if I just show the configuration, so we have buy and sell zones. That's the in the other version it had that little dot and a line that showed which high or low was removed by the area of supply and demand, and now I just use this instead. And you can just enable that and disable it. You can see how that changes the box there. Display consume zones. You can just click this on and off, and it removes or displays the ones that have been consumed. And then we have here maximum supply and demand zones to display. I mean, you can decrease this and you can see it'll just instantly be reflected in the number of boxes that are shown, and it says 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so if I increase that, then you'll notice that this one here was added, and then they'll just be increased. But notice as well that if you have too many on there, then the price chart will get scrunched, get kind of squashed, and this is because it's trying to show the ones that are below and above. And so if you have a lot there, the graph is going to get really flat and almost impossible to read. So I advise that you keep it on a relatively small value. And then we have maximum accumulation distribution. You all probably remember this from the other software. If I just turn this down, you'll notice these zones kind of hop above or beyond. If I just remove this, you'll notice that these zones will jump lower or higher depending. If I go down to, this one just did it. This one here just did it. I keep it on, 5. It's reasonable. That's the maximum. If it's greater than that, then we want it to be a deep zone where the rectangle is moved down to the bottom of the accumulation or the top of the distribution. Then we have a minimum size of zone. And so this is an important one that helps me filter out those tiny, tiny zones that sometimes appear as a result of price action. So if we have, for example, out of session zones that are super, super tiny because there's simply no flows, I don't want to see those. I only want to see the ones where we're seeing like a pretty decent number of pips in this area of accumulation or distribution. So I'm doing something called volatility sampling, which is kind of a moving envelope of volatility, and I think this results in a value, and I want to see at least half of that. I want to see the size of the zone to be at least half of that that sample of volatility, just so we filter out those tiny useless zones. Then we have imbalance release periods. This is of course just telling us how many periods price has to move. Here we have 1, 2, 1, 2. If you reduce that to 1, then it's going to change the behavior of the software, and it's going to, here you can see 1. So we have the demand, and we have the expansion bar, and then we have this candle here, which essentially defined where the beginning of the buy zone was established. And you can see it has a huge effect on the zones that are qualified. But I actually like to leave this at 2, and then I like here to have risk reward to 1, between 1 and 2, depending on what I'm trying to accomplish. If we reduce this a bit, and we put this to 2, then it's going to show some zones that really depart. So we had this one here, beautiful reaction. This one here, beautiful reaction. We've got this one here that is yet to be tested. So it has a really big influence on these zones, and you can kind of, you know, turn this down to 1.5 or whatever you like, really. But normally at least 1. If this price imbalance release period is set to 2, I think you're gonna do fine. I like to put it on 1 because I like to qualify these myself. Then we have the border width. You know, if you want it super tiny, you can change it like that, and it makes everything small. If you want it to be super clear, then you crank it up like that, and then it's then they're very, very visible to you. And I like to keep it on 2, just keep things clear. And then we have the bullish, bearish colors. You know, you can put this to whatever you want. If you want green and pink, whatever. I mean, you can do whatever you like. But I like to keep it on just the standard colors, which I've been using for quite a lot of time, years actually. And so what I'm doing now is, I've been trading, as a matter of fact, for the first time in years on the small time frames, the 30-minute charts. And so, of course, I'm looking at multiple time frames, but I've been spending a lot of time just going through these on the smaller time frames. So what I do is I just walk through these one at a time. Got the pound Aussie. Where's that one? Pound Aussie. I'll just try this one here for fun. And I'm just looking for zones that are super clear. So what I'll do is I'll either zoom out like that just to see, yeah, we're going up, or you can jump to the 4-hour chart. Yeah, you can see we're moving up. Yeah, generally we're moving up, so we want to be buying. So you go to the smaller time frames and just find these little zones that are interesting. So we know that we only want to be buying, we don't want to be selling, so we don't sell here. Yeah, this one worked out, but not all of them are going to work out. We want to try and line things up. And then I just go down to these small time frames and I find these zones that make sense to me. And this one here, I mean, that makes pretty good sense. And the reason that makes sense here is because we had a zone here that was tested, and now it's gone. The area that removed it was this one here. Here's the buy zone. So this is where we'd expect prices to come and react from in the future. Okay, and I like that. And so as an example, if we wanted to take that trade, you would simply click on the trade button here if your platform is hooked up to your broker. And then you can take this little thing and you can say, well, my entry is going to be there. I've been missing a lot of trades this week because I've put it too close. My stop loss is going to be below somewhere, put on here, and the target is going to be in the posing area right there. And I want to put my risk here. Let's say we want to risk $30 there. And then I say, great, then I just put on the order, and then the order is in there and it's ready to go. So it's actually really, really cool, and I like this a lot. You can see here that we reacted to this low, which is important. And the reason it's important because when we went from here, we went above this high, so that tells us that this one here is an important one. This is a biggie, and now we've revisited that. So what do I expect? Well, I expect prices to move up to these highs up here. And so again, find those zones that are in alignment with what you can see with the swings, and you target these other areas, you know. And I think we could probably do something like that. So you could put it in there, and then we'll leave that and see how we get on. But it's pretty easy and it's pretty simple, and I like it a lot. And I'm currently working on a few other things. I'm just about to push out asset strength histogram. If you look here, if I go to this and I go to my profile settings and I go to the scripts, at TradingView they removed a bunch of these, and it's because the description in the software did not, according to them, it wasn't in alignment with their house rules, so I wasn't explaining enough about the software, what it was doing and how it was doing it. And so I've changed that. And so this version here is a new one, and now you can see this one, and hopefully they won't remove that, otherwise I have to make more changes. But it's a bit of a pain, but it's good enough. You know, they have some standards. They try to ensure a certain level of quality in the description of the software, so I think it's fair enough. But this one here, I did not explain it good enough, which I don't understand because it's pretty well explained, but whatever. So I have to do the same thing now for the asset string histogram, and hopefully they won't remove that. Anyway, but that's about it for this. If you have any questions, please do let me know. And if you have any feedback on this, then let me know. One more thing I have is I have the buy and sell zones, which I'm currently making. Personal. This is kind of an interesting one because it enables me to run buy and sell zones. As you can see, that's here. As you can see here, kind of the same stuff. We have account balance, the risk, and all the other stuff. But the funky thing about this is, which I think is pretty remarkable, is you can see the results of these here. And so if I want to say risk reward ratio, I want to put this to, let's say, 1. You can see the results instantly here. Release periods, yes. Stop multiply 1, target multiply. If I change this to 2, and you can see the results very, very quickly. Okay, so here we had like a pretty stable equity curve. You can see it slowly changes. Obviously, it's going to be the same sometimes, but if I go really far down like that, you can see that, yeah, the risk-reward ratio has affected that quite a lot. So around there seems to be like a bit of a sweet spot, $100, 116. And so I can actually do this on the fly, which is kind of cool. But I can also do this deep back testing, where I can say we'll go back to here until today and generate report. And so now it crunches and it shows me the results of that. And so we had, this is based on, this is 20%, and this is based on, let's have a look, performance here. So this is based on, 2 years. About 2 years, just over 2 years, 2.5 years. So not terribly good, but this is a tiny account. And here I can kind of see here trade analysis, average winning trade, 166, average losing trade, 818. That's really terrible. I think there's a bug in here I have to address, but I'm currently working on getting buy and sell zones ready for TradingView for those who want to use it there, because I think that would be really, really cool. So that's what I'm currently working on. If you have any questions about any of this, please do let me know. And once again, thanks so much for watching.